Stacey's gonna laugh. Here she is.
Why, Sidney? Why?
I didn't do anything.
Excuse yourself. Oh, he
Oh
did
wait,
it
we're on. Shh.
He did it again. Hi, everyone. We're live at Epic Headquarters. I'm here with Steve, Sid, and
Joe.
I hope everybody's doing okay this week. First of all, we want to let everybody know that we're working on a new build, correct?
Yes. So we're basically starting lockdown today. We had a few more features we want to get in, so we'll have a few days of testing, and I expect it'll be done probably early next week.
Early next week, awesome. Anything new that you want to tell us about?
Well, we're going to talk about a couple things.
Okay.
The new game type support Joe's going to cover. And
awesome. So now we have Joe here for a reason, other than just to look
I only
pretty.
get fighted on when I have stuff. So,
So we're going to take a look at the hub. Some changes.
yeah, so we've made a really big change to the hubs. They've been going pretty well, I think, right along the lines that we wanted. But one of the things we started noticing was that most people wouldn't adjust their settings, and I didn't really want them to anyway. I wanted to create an idea of common rules that define how we want the game to be played, or how an admin wants to be played, or a league wants it to be played. So it's a consistent experience. So what we've done is, what I've done is I've built a new rule system into the hubs. So if you're bringing up on the screen, I'll show you what it's going to look like. Now it starts off looking just like the hubs did before, where you get into your lobby and you can chat with each other. But when you start a new game, it goes to a completely new interface where you can pick what type of rules that you want to play under. So for example, you know, we have deathmatch, capture the flag. You also have your various team games. We'll have competitive rule sets that are just designed for, you know, leagues or tournaments, and of course you have Instagib out there. And eventually you'll have the ability to add your own right on the fly custom rules. So you'll go and say, for example, we wanted to play a deathmatch game, so I can choose deathmatch, and it pops up and you can see here's the rules that you're going to have. It's going to be 30-minute frag limit, 10 minutes time limit. And then you can pick what maps you're going to want to play. One of the big things that we've added to the hubs are map lists, so that you can have a full rotation of a bunch of maps that you can play. And you can choose them. Now, in this particular case, we allow you to pick for 6. So you can choose what 6 you want. You can close one down and bring it up. You can also reorder it, so I can move the maps up to the top, and we can reorder how we want things to be done. You can set your bot skill level. It's all really simple. We wanted to really limit the number of clicks that you have to do to get into a hub game, as well as create a really consistent set of rules. So then you create it, boom, you're jumping in here. As people join your game, they're going to see visually what maps that you have, what game rules that you have selected. You'll be able to chat about it and go from there. And it's just,
This looks great.
I think, a really good way to present choosing how you want to play. Someone asking, play with a boatload of maps. The answer is the admin actually sets up the rule sets, and they set up the number of maps that you have in there. So if you're running a server with, say, 100 maps on it, you'd want to create rules that categorize the different map types. So maybe you have big maps or outdoor maps or vehicle maps or whatever, and those are all individual rule sets. So you can create smaller subsets of maps in there. And when you go to the custom rules, eventually you'll have a dialogue where you can actually just pick which ones you want.
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So basically, what Joe, to kind of elaborate on what Joe's saying, is there's 2 ways. So we're going to have some standard rule sets that Epic provides, and then hub admins will also be able to create their own rule sets that exist on that hub, and that are basically other standard configurations that you can pick from on that hub. Or you can go to the custom mode, which is not implemented yet.
Right, it's not in there yet.
And that will be basically the old school style, pick your game type and mutators and all the rules, where you can completely customize the experience just like you could in the past.
And again, the goal here is to create a really consistent experience for the user who wants to play. And we really want to, you know, work together with everybody, the community who's playing, and come up with a good baseline set of rules, especially for the competitive side, where you know that when you're going into a competitive CTF match, it's always the same rule set, right? And that's what this really gives us the ability to do.
Or at least it's the same, you know, there's a standard Epic competitive CTF thing.
Right.
If some league, you know, wants to
have
their
their
own
own
competitive, so, you know, Clan Wars, competitive CTF
let's
that
say
they
you're
run
playing
their
on
hubs.
the Clan Wars server. They could have their own tab up at the top where it would be Clan Wars, and you click on there, and there are their rule sets.
Yep.
And you know that when you jump into a tab that's a Clan Wars tab, and you're jumping into Clan Wars rules, you're getting consistent play across the board. And then we're going to expand this feature eventually so that if you're running a clan match, right, you'll be able to pick the 3 maps that you want. You'll be able to lay out your team. So like you'd come in here, you'd go to CTF, you'd pick the 3 maps that you want, and then all the people would join your lobby, and you as the host would be able to assign teams and say, okay, these guys are on red, these guys are on blue. Go, launch it, it'll go, it'll play the 3 map rotation, record the scores of who wins each map. I mean, so we have a lot of features for really helping set up games that we have planned for this that I think are going to be really good down the line.
As a server admin, I really wish I would have had this about 10 years ago. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's
Upload the INI.
one of the things we're trying to do is make it really flexible in the end, and I'm working closely with Raxi right now to try and make sure that we're getting full mod support built into this. The first pass is going to be a little rough, but eventually I want to get it so that, for example, you come here and someone picks, the domination mod that they're playing with right now. You don't have it. It would pop up a little dialogue and you'd see, hey, you're downloading domination while you're sitting right in the hub. You know what you have beforehand. There's none of this. I connect to a server and I'm looking at a status bar and you have no idea if it's 10 or 20 things you have to download. So we're going to have that all built right into it. Pete and I we were in fact discussing all that at lunch today, how we're going to get that working, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be full control.
And the icons too, so they look a little better. I'm still working on this.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they look like in game until just
now you do.
Wow. So yeah, I'm going to make some changes to those too. But this looks fantastic. This is
well, thanks. The first pass of this will be in the next build, so we'll be able to play around and get some feedback on it, and hopefully get admins giving us feedback how they want, what features they might want in there. I'm pretty happy with how it ended up.
I think the server admins are going to be happy too. I know there's a couple hubs that I sit in, and a lot of people will just idle there for hours and hours, and they have more things to look at. And this looks amazing.
Oh, thanks.
All right, thank you, Joe. Everybody seems to be very pleased too in the chat. Yeah. So next we're gonna no, we're not. We're gonna take a look at Enhanced Spectator mode.
Let me load it up for Steve.
Okay.
I forgot about this. Pass the car over so Steve can drive.
This is another really cool feature that's coming online.
So we earlier this week when we were talking about what we were going to have on the stream, we were talking about casting and stuff like that, and we put in an Enhanced Spectator support, which is pretty incredible. Zach used it in a playtest the other day, and it worked out pretty well.
So just done some work on improving the cameras so it switches more smoothly. It automatically picks a good view when you switch. The number keys are now bound so you can view specific players on each team. 1 to 5 are bound to red players, 6 to 9 are bound to different blue players, so you can always find exactly who you're looking for. Slash and star are bound to the flag, so it basically goes to the current flag position. If somebody's carrying it, it'll follow them as different things happen. We've got minus bound to first person, so you can switch between first and third person. Let's see, what else do we have? One of the things you also notice here is that I've added some in-world flag beacons. You see those during when you're spectating.
Oh, that's awesome.
And also, you see them now during gameplay. So the way it works is you always see where the enemy flag is, because that's either at the base or being carried by one of your teammates. The friendly flag you only see if it's at your base, so it helps you find your base if your flag is there, but if it's not, you still have to track down where the enemy flag carrier is. And we're going to be tweaking those rules. That's just a quick first pass. I don't think we've even played with that yet. So
there's some really cool things coming online that aren't here yet. That's
one of the other things I've added mouse wheel. So now the mouse wheel, if you're viewing somebody in third person, you can zoom in or out from them. And if you're free cam, so right click mouse still takes you into free cam, but it takes you exactly smoothly from the spot you're at now. So now I've just switched to free cam. Actually, didn't do it smoothly. I'll have to. Whoops. But then then if you've got mouse wheel, you can change your speed to really slow or really fast as you're moving
Steve
around.
runs into a wall.
As I run into a wall, yeah, I've been programming this not
working. This is really awesome.
Let's see, what's the other cool thing? Oh, if you're spectating somebody and they're firing a projectile, you can do a projectile cam.
Oh, that is really awesome.
So
man.
Yes.
Let's try and find somebody shooting a projectile.
Yeah. Sorry.
There you go. There's the translocator.
Rocket launcher.
Well, that wasn't very impressive. So that was
that was so cool.
Yeah.
So if you keep holding the button down, successive shots will just keep following the projectile.
Yeah. It goes back. So right now, I still need to do some work on improving exactly. Let's see. Who's this guy?
But that's really, we were having a play test the other day, and they were shooting off Redeemers. And it was awesome in the fact that you guys were switching to the Redeemer views. It was shot. It was really good.
Which made Sidney make a suggestion. That was pretty fun.
These guys are not.
Strange love views.
They're not helpful in this.
Well.
Damn bots. We also found out when we were doing this the other day that Zach needs a little bit of work on his casting. Maybe.
There we go. So there was one. I'm supposed to go back when after you. There's a lot of bugs I'm finding here. Okay.
But anyways, the potential for the
Steve
future
is writing down the bugs like, gotta hit.
Yeah, the potential for the future is pretty amazing, especially you know, you see somebody running around with a shock rifle and you can actually follow the ball before
see it goes right in.
So yeah, it's a cool feature. I mean, so we're basically right now kind of prototyping a bunch of cool spectating features, and we'll be improving them over time. Let's see, what have I forgotten? Oh, there's also, if you're in free camera and you're just flying around and you want to spectate the closest, there's a bind to spectate the closest player, which is this, and so you basically can switch easily to, if you're flying around and you want to follow somebody. What else do I have? So I guess that's what there is so far. A couple things I'm going to be adding in the next, so won't make it to this build. So basically what you see here is what's going to be in this build. I'm going to add a slide out so that you can see like which player is bound to what, and also who's in action right now, so it's easier for when you're spectating to figure out what the best where the best action is. And also we're going to add pre-placed cameras in the level that are bound to the numpad keys, so you can switch between, like, you know, blue flag base, so different cameras that have nice shots, a bird's eye view maybe of midfield or whatever we find in, you know, level designers be able to set those up. And
it'd actually also be cool to have the, similar to nearest player, have the nearest camera bind as well.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have this
for a headshot cam.
Yeah, definitely. Now this is going to be when we have demo recording, also the demo recording interface, right?
Yes.
So we could do some really fun things with, like, you know, the when you switch to the projectile cam, switch into slow motion, so you get that, you know, cinematic hit, and I think it's going to be really powerful down the line.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can't wait
So
to see the
I want to hold off on really getting into how our demo recording stuff is going to work, but the engine team's been working on a really cool demo recording and playback system that we'll be using also for live spectating. And we'll go into more detail as it comes online, but it's basically going to be a system where you can jump into a match and kind of view it like you're watching a TiVo. You can view it, you know, from the point where it's live. You can start at the beginning and go back. And so right now, these controls that we're prototyping for spectating, we're going to be using to help, you know, people view those demos. But that's going to be a really amazing feature. You know, we're going to be as servers recording demos, they're going to be storing them so you can go back and view them later. We'll have a nice interface for searching and finding demos and stuff like that. So a lot of really cool stuff coming with that. I think that's all that I had about this right now. Love to get people, when we get the new build out, playing around with this and giving some feedback on features they'd like to see. I know there's
I'm
a
sure
lot.
We'll get a lot of feedback on that.
Oh, actually, I almost forgot one of the coolest things. So with Nick Donaldson implemented some cool shaders, so we also have a TACCOM mode.
Oh, that's already hooked up?
Yep, I think it's hooked up in this build.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
There we go. So
there it is. Look at how gorgeous that is.
So you can see players when they're not there.
So yesterday I kind of teased this out. I said that Nick was working on something cool.
I was going to ask about that, actually.
Yep, this is what it was. Everybody was asking me, when are we going to talk about it?
So that's also a nice feature for whether you're spectating or if somebody's casting, that you kind of get an idea of the action. So you can see the guy who's carrying the flag. You can see the icon that shows that he's got the flag even when he's not visible. I actually just fixed the overlay of the beacons, but
everybody's going, hacks!
So yes, you can only do this when you're a spectator, so a pure spectator. So it's not going to be, I mean, right now obviously the game is not hard to hack if you really are so inclined, but the goal is certainly for not this to be a part of regular gameplay.
Yeah.
Not that we want you to, and we will yell
Yes,
at
please
you to
don't,
do.
because
Yeah.
we want you to be
We-
constructive partners in helping us make a great game and not.
Yeah, if you
Don't
find
be a
something,
jerk is
let
what
us
we're
know
saying.
about it.
Yeah.
Saxon asked about us maybe having shirts to be sold on Twitch. We're actually talking to Twitch right now about maybe being able to do something like that. So more later on that. All right.
Cool.
Thank you, Steve. I think
Okay.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
happy people right now. Have to practice my casting
You need to
skills.
shut down.
Zach was actually pretty good. I want to.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Other than the
I
fact he
just liked
kept
to
going,
tease
man,
him.
Joe sucks.
Yeah.
That was a rough day.
Yeah. So we are going to take a look at some community maps. We had this amazing play test yesterday, and we looked at 3 community
already
maps,
have it
and we
running.
really, really had a lot of fun.
Over. Over. There
The
you go.
first one we're going to take a look at was. I really enjoy. Well, I really like this one. I like all 3 of them, but this one is like my thing, where there's hallways and places to spam, and
I think it had a good mixture of.
it was a
various
great
elements.
little map, and I really enjoyed it. And it's DM Vicious by Num51. Is that the one we're going to take a look at
Oh, is
first?
this the one I watched you
Yep.
guys play on last night?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stopped
This is
in
what you came
briefly.
in.
Let's see. Wait. Almost there.
Yeah, we're getting there. So yeah, so this was the map I did the best in. I was like in the top 4 at the end, I think.
Yeah, though admittedly we probably played this with
Too many
Too
people.
many
too
People,
many
yeah.
people.
It wasn't too many for
But,
me. It was more people to kill.
It still held up pretty well.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, it was
did.
just very
Yeah.
very
was just-
frantic and
Yeah,
constant.
So
chaotic.
this was my favorite spot right here.
Yeah.
We spawned
some
right on it.
I noticed a
Cool.
lot of combat when I was watching happen right along in this area, and
Yep.
it seems
Yeah.
to be a really good.
And the
move.
flak. This was another very heavily traveled spot. People would grab that flak and hold that
Yeah.
corner over there.
It's an interesting teleporter placement here.
Yeah.
So basically teleporting from here to there. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not generally a huge fan of teleports because it's harder to learn the map. Although one thing I liked about this map is I had not seen it before, but I figured it out really quickly.
Yeah, the layout is pretty straightforward to read, which is nice. The shock room here is kind of neat too. The dead end for the thigh pads,
I don't know why.
I'm not.
Yeah, I
so
think you need
sure
something a
about,
little more
um,
valuable down there than
whoop.
thigh pads.
I'm not sure if there's actually boots on the map or not. If there are not, that might be an interesting spot.
Mm.
Yeah.
So granted, that might also break a lot of other things, but armor placement here is neat too, with a slow lift going up, so you're nice and readable going for it. This is also very well telegraphed, trying to cut people off. Lots of cool lift jump opportunities if you can time the lift jumps correctly. Nope, I can't. Never mind.
Nope.
The shield area was pretty fun to fight over too, especially for if people do end up
Those two
going.
slope dodges you get up there too, so you don't have to take that.
There's multiple ways actually. So
Yeah.
you can take the jump pad, which makes you a super easy target for
Right.
getting poked off with the shock. You can also just wall dodge
Oh,
over
that's
on the
true.
sledge and rock over, or you can ride the
Slope
slope.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can kind of abuse the capsule and do, which I did a lot, was actually just crouching off the edge and camper on the edge and wait for the thing to show
Camper?
up.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Was it you that I shot off the edge there? That was funny.
no, couldn't have been.
No.
Couldn't have been Sidney. He never dies.
Well,
I
he
think your name
doesn't
is
usually
Matt.
in his defense.
But yeah, we saw lots of good action around this spot here. Having the rocket close by was nice too. Some of these elevators were a little tricky to navigate, with them being accessible from two sides, but funneling out in one direction. I'm not sure if it's a really big issue or not, but it was something that I noticed. Scale and everything else feels pretty good too in here. Having
Yeah, I really like the scale. of
these
this
bits are
too.
nice as well. Getting visibility on people without having to make the map too porous is always a good thing. Yeah, be interesting to see this actually played with a lower player count, or maybe even, I don't know, a 1-on-1 even, or a 2-on-2 or something, and go from there. Also lots of cool opportunities to actually use wall dodging and slides and all that stuff, which is always nice. But yeah, we had a really great time on this. Looking forward to seeing where it goes, and awesome job, man.
Lots of swearing when we play this way.
This is the one that has a little Easter egg on the top of it.
Oh, wait. Where is it?
I did ghost and go to the top.
I have to ghost to get it?
Yeah.
Aw.
Sidney doesn't need ghost. Oh, I guess with that mouse maybe.
Yeah, there's got to be some way to do it without ghosting.
Wait, where is it?
Wait.
Are we missing something?
Are we missing something, Zach?
Are you lying to me, Zach?
This is what they told.
Oh, I think it's.
Is it off the side?
We're doing this live. Are we going to be sorry?
Maybe we should have thought about this. Everybody, this is what it looks like when you float out of a map.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
Thanks, Zach.
This is what happens when we listen to Zach.
They're trolling Zach.
Are you sure it
Pete
wasn't
said,
like
I see it.
They said it's in the castle, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I think they're making it
Oh
up.
well.
Nope.
Oh, probably do
All right.
with those kill Z if you didn't see
Stop
Anyways.
my RC bullying.
Let's jump over to the next map. Next one we'll be looking at is
So this one was from TotesAmaze.
yes,
This was a
CTF
CTF map, and this was kind
Defiance.
of like your map with the idea with there's a spaceship and there's also a castle type thing. Is that the one?
It has a
Okay.
spaceship in it. I mean,
Castle.
that's as far as
Well,
similarities go. I
castle
wouldn't claim the
Type area.
ownership over putting a spaceship in maps, but
Only he does that now.
but yeah. So this one's been going on in the forums for a while. Last time he posted a really cool concept, a little bit of concept art to kind of show the progression of the map. We played this yesterday with 10 people. And besides the setting being awesome, and it's
That's really
fun
cool.
to have an actual ship to run around in.
Kind of
and
reminded me of Tribes a
you
little
know,
bit.
imagine
that ship.
the actual bits and bobs that go into this and whatnot. The actual scale of the map was huge for us. So one thing that ended up kind of playing against this was just the variety of routes that you could cut through, especially the volcano area and the multitudes of ways that you could come out. So a lot of the flag runs ended up being very separated and sneaky, and if you managed to get a flag and disappear from the flag room, you could disappear from the map sort of and just kind of sneak across, and we had pretty long standoffs as a result of that.
Kind of a reminder of Lava Giant.
I was
a
going to
little
say,
bit.
it really reminds me of Lava Giant in terms
Yeah.
of the size and the scale.
Yeah.
And Lava
Lava
Giant
Giant-
was
So-
another one of those where you could get the flag and suddenly disappear out of
Yeah.
sight and be hard
It
to
was still
track.
simpler. Lava Giant didn't have
It
as
was-
many.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really, really love the setting and the premise and everything and the salty feel that it has. Like, I think it has a ton of potential to be really great.
Yeah.
It just
Oh,
needs
yeah,
some
same here.
serious simplification, and you kind of have to make
Can
it.
you go in all those buildings?
Yeah, you can go into all of the buildings as well.
That would
which-
probably help if you just don't make it so you can't.
It might
go
be
in.
interesting to just instead, do a key one or something, or a key
Yeah.
location.
Well, like this
Yeah.
one with the sniper,
tower,
is
that's kind
key,
of
but
cool.
Well,
This kind of
Um,
felt
I-
like there's more than one map's worth of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
This would be a great
So,
sniper CTF map.
Personally, I would probably pick and choose where I would want to put the most amount of complexity, because right now you kind of have the spaceship on one side with a decent amount of complexity. You have the
Yeah.
volcano with a lot of complexity. Then you have the village, which in of itself has kind of two layers of complexity. First, the open nature of it all, and then second, the actual interior of all the buildings that you can go into. And then third, you have the castle
castle.
itself, which
It's so
could get away
pretty.
with also just being a pretty simple open courtyard space that just has one or two or maybe three major exits into one central structure here. But as it stands right now, you can also go into a lot of different places here, and it has all these underground sections that then loop around
I
and
didn't even
connect
know
to
that.
I
these
can
underground
see how
bits
this
here.
was very big.
Whoops.
Oops.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm getting a
Um,
new mouse, by the way, right here.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I didn't even remember that. movie.
Oh, there's
Oh.
more over here.
Yes,
That's
where
where
the
the Berserk is.
invisibility
Yeah.
is. Oh no, the
Berserk
Berserk.
over here.
There's invisibility in here too, somewhere.
Yay, power-ups.
Yeah, this is the volcano bit. But actually, one thing that was really cool about the volcano bit is that he set up this little slide,
around.
dodge, Yeah.
Yes, we had a lot of fun in this
Yeah.
area
That's
here.
that's a cool little gameplay
Especially
hook.
somebody
but
was in here with invisibility
realistically,
and he fell off and died.
if you wanted to keep the volcano as an interior space, I'd actually recommend just funneling everything through the central chamber, because one of the things that the map's lacking, based on that wide open nature, is just proper choke points.
I mean, it looks like it has some good choke points, but there's so many of them.
Yeah, because basically you could spend either 2 seconds crossing the volcano bit through this opening, or you could spend probably 20 seconds in this entire bit in here, come out up there, or come out down there. So the disparities there is relatively big. Another cool thing I liked over here was the sniper tower. Lift setup is a little bit awkward actually as well, with it being approachable from
like that.
both sides, but then having to turn around. That was a really cool location.
I
and
loved sitting up there.
I
That was
just
fun.
I love the vibe of having this little gnarly town
Little
sitting
gnarly
in front of a
cross.
castle. But yeah, my biggest piece of advice and feedback would just be to try and simplify and really cherry pick the things that work the best, and leave out some of the complexity. And I think this could be really, really great and a ton of fun. So plus, yeah, more asymmetrical CTF maps, which is always awesome.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. It's so nice now because it's like you said, it's like you have 2 different maps every time. 'cause you can, switch
UFFDA
sides.
1,
It's
2,
so
3,
much
4
fun.
says large maps equal awesomeness.
Well, there's always something to be said for people
agree.
with different tastes and
Well, sure, and like I said, if
supporting
you're
different
playing
tastes.
Sniper Arena, this would be an awesome map for that.
Yeah.
all right, and the last map we'll be looking at.
This was probably the crowd favorite yesterday. This is just an absolutely beautiful map.
So, DM-Burgh by
Sonaeris?
Sonaeris.
I don't know how you say it for sure. But that's what
Yeah, we'll
I
just stick
guess.
with that. So, I've kind of been following some of the screenshots that he's been posting on IRC and the work in progress threads, and those look pretty impressive already, but the actual map itself, holy crap,
Holy crap.
is a kind of, I don't know,
Such
like a master class in BSP editing.
Yes,
For-
exactly.
It is impressive.
Insanely impressive, gigantic castle structures. Like, and one thing you'd look at this and you'd go like, oh yeah, that looks cool, but it's probably gonna flow kind of awkward, or it's not gonna really play that well. But actually, the map also plays well.
Yeah, it played very well. 'Cause we
Yeah,
had,
we've
we had a
all
really
been
great time
super
on this
impressed
one.
with this yesterday, and just the sense of location and place and the composition that happens in a lot of these areas. Like all this stuff right here just looks amazing. And just great sensibilities all across the map.
So this map really has the potential to be, just like one of the greatest looking maps.
Yeah, it's going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, it has its own kind of charm, just being impressive BSP rush work too, but seeing this fully arted up
Yep.
would be amazing. A lot of cool different areas. Everything feels pretty unique and identifiable, like being able to walk up circular towers. There's some interesting power-up placements. This little section
Don't
here.
tell people where the boots are.
Yeah, we had fun actually. So the Redeemer is hidden on top of one of the big towers, and pretty much, I don't know, for 80% of the match we all tried finding the boots and trying to get up there, until I actually figured out a way to just impact hammer up there at some point, because there's a spawn point close by. But yeah, that was really fun. But one cool thing about this is just the actual exploration that goes into the map too.
When you guess you got up there and Pete was there.
Pete was always where
Actually,
the boots were.
nope.
Oh,
That's how
I guess
everybody
we just know
got
how
the
to get
boots.
to
They
it.
just killed Pete.
He was the first one to find the boots though, I think, but then everybody else kind of caught on to it. But yeah, the sense of exploration here is awesome, finding these little nooks and crannies, and just again, composition on this is awesome. It just feels right.
It does. It feels right. I mean, it was like playing.
And from a gameplay standpoint too, like these, all the different spots kind of have interesting little scenarios too. Like this is essentially a long, windy hallway, so to speak, but
Yeah.
at the end of this whole thing is the drop down that leads into the U damage. So it creates this really kind of cool gameplay of
Yep.
make your way up
Shooting
here,
people
grab
in
a
the
sniper,
back.
try and make it to the end of the hallway, and then try and hold this spot until the thing actually respawns, and
That's
as people
been-
try and come in and steal it from you.
That's been enjoying figuring out how to get the bots to understand. That
Oh.
falling through the holes.
Oh, that's right.
I thought that was a really cool placement, though. That's
Yeah,
kinda
it
neat idea
is.
to
It's,
have.
it's different. That's what
Oh, I
really
like it on the side too. It looked
Yeah.
kind of neat. You look down there
Yeah.
and you see the U.
Yeah.
I
Oops.
just, I
Nice
just,
job,
yeah,
Bruce.
Just
that's
the
how
boots.
I found them too. I spawned right in front of them.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of really cool little
There's-
ideas,
I-
very
yeah.
innovative, and
Pretty sure I still found new places by the end of the match that we played yesterday. So again, I mean, we played this with 10 people also. Actually found the pacing to be pretty decent with that amount. There weren't many
which
large
is good for 10 people.
dry spells or anything. Like the action was relatively
it-
constant, but not over the top constant, and
Yeah.
actually worked reasonably well.
I can see where you could have a whole lot of small combats taking place in the same
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also more reminiscent of a VG99 kind of scaling. Like some of those areas are a little bit more tighter. I don't think that's
Yeah.
necessarily a bad thing. Not every map needs to follow the same kind of super open
Yeah.
floor plan. You
Right.
still have nice big open combat areas like these here. And it takes a certain different kind of skill to navigate tighter spaces sometimes, which is also interesting. And again, here, like, nice wide open areas.
Maybe you should try Stombo.
My name isn't Matt. Wait, what?
Oh, wait a second. I didn't even know this place was in here.
Yep.
Stacy found
Oh, is
something
this
there.
where the Redeemer was?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, I know. It's like a kill.
Which
button.
is actually really
Oh,
fun to fly
awesome.
around this entire thing. It's nice.
That's good Redeemer placement. I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice way of touring the map too.
And I like that you had to basically risk it all to get up there to get it.
Which I'm sure Pete
Yeah.
did quite a few times.
So also here, keg of health on the outside. Let me see how
See,
long I
Sid,
can
that's a
keep
keg.
this up. Yeah, one of these days we'll integrate the keg into the visual language. But yeah, this was a pretty damn impressive, amazing job.
Yeah, Alan
Um,
Willard, Talisman, played with us yesterday too in a play test, and he just absolutely loved this map.
Yeah,
He liked them all, actually.
That's freaking great. So yeah, amazing job.
Yeah, really amazing.
Very
Yeah.
impressed.
Very nice. Can't wait to see this one come
Yeah.
to life.
That's it
I
from-
expect that I'll see it this weekend on the servers a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so head over to the forums and make sure you download all the maps that we talked about today. And we're talking about maybe having you on a lot because we have a lot of maps to look at,
Yes, there's lots of great stuff coming in, which
Yeah.
is awesome. So we'll be trying to do this more regularly. And
right? 2 or 3 maps a week, that would be pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so we are going to also do something new weekly. We are going to have concept art of the week. And Shell, could you bring up the concept art picture that we have? So these are Necros helmets, and these might be winding up on the store, the marketplace.
Actually, probably since these are Epic created, so we probably won't put them in the marketplace. What we're thinking about doing is at some point having some kind of community event. By that I mean actually like a,
Come play with
CTF
us.
weekend, come play
CTF.
with us kind of thing. Like everybody who plays that weekend earns
Gets
this
a-
helmet,
oh,
or
that's
maybe a
awesome.
week.
That's a really great idea.
Get 1,000 frags in a week and get earn the helmet or whatever. So we'll think of some cool way to get people come play with us and earn the helmet.
That
as
is a super
Yeah.
great
That's a
idea.
reward,
I
yeah.
love that. Because there are a lot of games, you play a weekend, you get something cool that nobody else has,
Yeah.
and it's always nice because people always come up and say, hey, where did you get that? But these were done by Pete Hayes,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're really, really, really looking forward to doing stuff like that where we can give you some free stuff and
So
not just stuff that's on the marketplace. So next week we have some really cool stuff coming on. We're going to talk about RACC and IRC hubs or something, Joe.
Well, I haven't talked to Raxi about it.
Oh,
pressure.
hi, Raxi.
Hi, Raxi. Raxi
We're
has
gonna
this
be
really
talking-
nice plugin that allows you to broadcast the chat that goes on in the hub out to an IRC channel, and I'm working on the ability to have chat that goes on in the instance itself into the hub, and then therefore into the IRC channel. So hopefully, we're going to be talking about some of that stuff next week.
Cool.
That's awesome. Also, we're going to be having another community
Get
event.
Raxi on a webcam. Sure, sure we can Skype
Sure,
Raxi
Rax.
in if he's up for it.
I know he'd love that. He's up all the time anyway, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be having another community event. We're inviting in a lot of people. There's going to be some people here who were here before. We have a lot of new people coming in. We have some competitive gamers. I forgot my water. We're going to have some competitive gamers. We are going to be doing some casting. Mess may be here. Hypno. Rumor has it that we might have Phantom Lord here as well. So make sure you keep watching and come back next week, and we'll even have a schedule for our streaming and stuff like that.
So we expect with this community event
Excuse
to
me.
do a lot more streaming than we've done in the past, and so
Right.
we'll give you guys a schedule, but I hope that we're really streaming most of the day on Saturday.
Yep.
It'd be
And
super awesome too with the new spectator system.
we have our
Yeah.
new spectator, so we're going to be
Yeah, so you'll get to watch us lose to the community again in real
have
time
to-
with somebody
Whoa.
making fun of us in real
we
time.
really need to make a better showing this
We
time.
should also
Says
probably
the
have
girl
some
who did
matches
not play.
between
Well-
community members so that they're actually.
We have some time to practice, so
Yeah, okay. I don't think.
Come
Just take a
see
week off
Epic
before the event and just
developers
shoot another
We just have
Where?
Capcom enabled on our side.
We're only to show their computers because ours might be enhanced.
And all the sounds that sound like this, that's
Yeah.
Matt's matching his mouth.
I think you have to do a little bit harder than that. but-
Yeah, much harder than that. Much harder than that. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Take care. Watch the engine stream tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
See you later.